So, good morning, old-timers, Vietnam old-timers travel guide. Morrie here again. Early morning, going on 7 o'clock, and I've walked up to the CAFE98 cafe where they sell fabulous drinks, as you can see. That one's a coconut cacao and a passion fruit and orange to keep me going. Maybe I can start off this morning by reading you some poems. If you're looking at this now, you know I have managed to get my technical side sorted out and working on Compass 360 as well. I'm probably going to have to change the name of Compass because gentleman I knew in 1987, Bill McKibben, he's a premier environmentalist in the States, has an organisation called 360.org, and he wrote his first book in about 1998 called The End of Nature. Another book I could recommend to you is Future Shock by American writer Rachel Carson. And today I'll talk to you a little bit about what I've been doing in my art, given what's happening in the world today, future shock and mechanical man, which we are, as is being shown quite clearly at the moment. So, first of all, a little poem for you. Halfway, it's neither here nor there, between night and day, or dawn and dusk, a million miles, neither the beginning or the end of something or nothing. We don't know and never will, because in the middle is not home or hope, neither here nor there. I only wanted to show you the jewel in the crown, the waves on the sea, the moon coming up, a rock to sit on, a hand to give me, a walk to take around the mountain so small that leads you home, not halfway here nor there. Trying to think what to say, confused by another day, alone so lost, not knowing which is the beginning or the end, yours or mine or ours. You say you would have come, but then we're only halfway. My beginning, your end, or the other way, I know not what. Meet in the middle, which way to go, where is the beginning, where is the end? Now we know, each one is at his end. Lovely in here, have a beautiful garden, some waterfalls, some fish in the pond. So if in Danang, for me it was a 1.5 kilometre walk, 1,500 metres to come up here. So another short poem for you. Fear of what's ahead. The walls are closing in now, the perimeter's grown small. The thin line around us, the circle very small. No love to surround us, the clutter there instead. No room to expand now, yesterday's rubbish there instead. So, living in Vietnam, and especially in Danang, it's a rapidly growing city. There's this untold construction going on around here, building of new apartments and the like. Still a cheap place to live. I've rented a small studio apartment. It's very, very tidy, almost new. Cost $20 US a night. With some expenses for power and whatnot. Basically I can go out and eat for $12 a day. That might not be every traveller's cup of tea. I showed you around a big resort the other day, a lovely beautiful resort on the beach. If you want to go stay there, that's probably $180 US a night. Can go up to $600-700 a night. and up to even 3,000 if you if that's the way you want to go. But I need to go a bit cheaper than that. I saw a beautiful bakery down the road, 60 cents for beautiful baked goods. At night you can eat out, have a banh mi, 55,000 dong, which is a couple of dollars. You can go out and have a reasonably nice meal, which I'll take you to tonight, for $4 or $5. So yeah, you can get by reasonably cheap now. Maybe some grabs or taxis or going places will cost you a little bit more, which I will do later on as I take you on this journey. As I say, I was planning on coming up here in July, but the situation changed in the Middle East and I was out of New Zealand within 10 days. I could see what was coming, and it wasn't going to be pretty. It's going to have a major effect on the world, and what I've been thinking about and writing about for 50 years. It's not new. The scenario plays out again, the mechanical man side of things. Here in Vietnam, of course, there was elections planned pre-1965 between the north and the south. The border then was just north of Hue, and they had planned elections. It became apparent that the north was going to win those elections, so they duly cancelled them and installed a puppet government, which they were doing assassinations and that here as well, of course. Then you have the Gulf of Tonkin incident, which claimed that the Vietnamese gunboats attacked the American destroyer, which later on claims proved to be false flag, which gave them the impetus to come into Vietnam. And the United States Marines landed here on Danang Beach in 1965. And the Danang airport became a major airport here during the American War. At the cost of close on 60,000 Americans dead, hundreds of thousands injured, mentally and physically. Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, potentially 3 million dead. Use of Agent Orange, the effects of which are still being felt to this day. And that carried on until 1975. And very long time. They used B-52 bombers up north, and clearly that didn't work. At one stage they had 500,000 men here, and we're losing casualties 700-800 a week. So I kind of know about these things because I was in the army at the time in Australia, New Zealand and Korea, South Korea, and the Americans were involved here, only for political reasons. So I heard all the rhetoric about the reason why, and the domino theory and the wicked communists coming down to take us over. There had been the Malaysian emergency where Australia, New Zealand and the UK had contained the insurgency in Malaysia, or Malaya then, in the 50s, late 50s. Then in the 60s we had the Indonesian confrontation where Indonesia was seeking to exert its dominance in the region and take over Borneo, which was stopped by the Australian and New Zealand and the UK, and sanity prevailed. But now we have the situation, of course, in the Middle East, and it's a COVID-like situation because the economic fallout that we had during COVID economically, on the mental health of people, on marriages, on education, on the debt that was incurred to printing money. And now we're pretty much sleepwalking into the same sort of scenario in the Middle East. And I don't think it's going to be over anytime soon. So travelling may become more expensive or impossible, and you may not be able to travel anywhere shortly, although you may want to get out of where you are and come and have a cacao and a fruit juice, not in a fizzy can, in Vietnam. So the situation there is likely to escalate. 21st of April 2026 today, and like I said in my art with Mechanical Man and Future Shock, which I'll share with you as time goes by, and you can decide what you want to do about it. I kind of feel it's my duty now to come out and share what I've been thinking and working on for all of this time, with my art and my writing, rather than leave it on the shelf. You know, I was born 1945, 82nd year. I'd like to say my in the 9th decade, and I don't think I'm going to see my 10th, so it's you know, I've got to make the most of what time I have left and share my thoughts and with you people, and maybe together we can make some changes that need to happen, because it could become extremely serious. It's going to be a major impact economically on countries all over the world, worse than COVID, I suspect. Food insecurity, problems with fuel, and we just do not know where this may end up. So I try to quote facts, you know, that I know, and we can all have an opinion, and I have plenty of those. But what I've found over the years is that you can have an opinion, which is fine, you know, as you should. You can talk and debate and come to a conclusion if you like. Some people get very adamant and stuck in their ways. But generally, if you have an opinion, generally speaking, as I found out, more than 50% of people will disagree with you, which actually means you're always wrong. So it's a bit of a hard one to wrap your head around, I know. So, and when it comes to knowledge, guys, you can think about knowledge on a particular subject, any subject you choose to think about or talk about. Let's call this one religion. And that little dot there, if that A4 is knowledge, or what there is to know about religion, then that little dot is what you or I or almost anybody else knows. Maybe if you got a PhD or more, you might know that much about the subject of religion. Now you have maybe 5 main religions in the world. You've got Hinduism, Buddhism, Islam, Christianity. You can, I'm sure there's some more out there, you know. Atheism, if that's what you want to believe in. So, what you or I or anybody knows about the subject of religion would take up that whole page, and that's what you and I, know about that particular topic. So we can't make sweeping statements on another religion. But the core of any religion is compassion and empathy. That's what most religions teach, or should teach. And we appear at the moment. In the First World War there was a saying, lions led by donkeys. Now the First World War, of course, was between white Christian people in Europe, Britain, France, Germany, Italy, and others. In the Second World War and the First World War, they took different sides, but fighting, killing each other. Millions of people died. What was it for? Now we build monuments to honour the dead, and we raise the flag and we play the music, and that's just what we do. And then when trouble comes, like now, we do the same thing. We play the music, raise the flag, indoctrinate our young people. They don't know they're going to be conscripted, forced to go where they don't want to go, and potentially be eliminated or killed. So it's a little bit of a senseless, vicious, crazy circle. In the world today, you know, we have things called democracies in the Western world. Generally 2 parties, sometimes 3, and they basically add up to being Mickey and Goofy, and with Minnie, the tail, wagging the dog. And they're not corporate headquarters of the White House, Westminster, Paris, Brussels, all the capitals of the world run by bureaucrats who spend printing money and making weapons instead of building bridges and roads and schools and healthcare, live and tell you which side is up. So it's time to do some critical thinking, and you can all do that. You can do critical thinking. You have to analyse what you've been told by the press, which is owned, as we all know, by the billionaire people, and they tell us what they want us to know, and it's not always the truth. Social media is helping to negate that and spread the word. So, but you need to assess what you're hearing via the media, analyse it, do some critical thinking about where it's likely to lead you and your family and your children and grandchildren in the future. And if this current crop of mindless politicians is allowed to have their way, the future's not going to be particularly bright for any of us. So I would just ask you to take heed and think some more. And over the next few weeks or months, I'll share my paintings and images with you, and hopefully provoke some thought. I see the sun's coming up behind me now, and I'm fading away. And that's true, isn't it? So I'll leave it there, guys, and I try to share facts, you know. Because if you share opinions, you're going to get hammered. So I try to stick with the facts and things as I know them. I do have some experience in these things. You know, I've worked in lots of different jobs. I've enjoyed my art. I've enjoyed meeting people. I've enjoyed travelling around the world. I've been to maybe 35 different countries, many of them more than once. I've been to Iran, I've been to Israel, I've been to Europe and Asia, the Americas. I lived in the States for 7 years. Lovely people, politics, not so much. So, capitalism, socialism, communism, we're all just people. And if you don't believe me, then maybe pick up your phone, Google world population in 50,000 years ago. And to save you the time, I'll let you know it was around about 5 million people, they estimate, living here on Earth. So if you think of it, that's where you came from, those 5 million people. So regardless of your colour, your religion, where you live, what you think, we are all related, and especially in the Middle East. It's a tragedy unfolding, and I'm hoping you and I, in our own way, peacefully, new leaders will come to the fore, people that understand and want to change the way the world operates, then there is hope. So thanks for listening, guys. If you want to tune in to some more videos once I get this online, I'll change the name Compass. I might make it Vietnam Compass 360. I'll keep the Vietnam Old Timers Travel Club for you older folk that might want to get off the couch and do some travelling. And if you can't, then feel free to follow me along and enjoy the journey with me. So once again, thanks very much for listening, and hopefully I'll see you all soon. Bye. Share, comment if you want to, follow if you want to. If you don't like what I'm saying, turn me off. You can do that. See you later.